Hello everyone. As you saw, there a big ceremony underway in the Iranian capital Tehran to mark 35 years since the Islamic revolution. President Hassan Rouhani expected to give a speech soon. It was, of course, this revolution which overthrew Shah Pahlavi and installed Ayatollah Khomeini as supreme leader, and eventually led to decades of hostile relations with the United States. Let's check in with Soraya Lennie, who's in Tehran at that ceremony. Soraya, just talk us through what is planned for today.
Well, at the moment we have people from the armed forces hang gliding in, and a lot of colour and a lot of noise and a lot of celebration for this 35th anniversary. And of course the president, most importantly, will make his first major public address to the nation of Iran very shortly. That's Hassan Rouhani. So it's very much a mood of celebration 35 years after that revolution. Now, we've been talking to people in Tehran about what that revolution meant and of course the implications it had, including on US and Iranian relations. And this is some of the things that we've heard, and this is what we found out.
Stuck in time. The former US embassy in Tehran still stands, mostly unchanged since 1979. The same old equipment, curtains and green paint, telex machines and old phones. Even the famous paper shredders, all relics of a time when enemies were friends. Although the building hasn't changed much, relations between the US and Iran are starting to. Ebrahim Asgharzadeh was a revolutionary and a student in 1979. Now he is a leading voice for reform.
People don't believe in conflict. We don't live in the past anymore.
In November 1979, Asgharzadeh was one of the men who took over the embassy and held 52 Americans hostage. He says he was motivated by the belief that the US was trying to sabotage the revolution. The attack led the US to cut diplomatic ties with Iran.
I don't agree with those who say that occupying the American embassy is still an obstacle to renewed relations. At times, there have been good conditions for friendship. But at the beginning of the revolution, we the leftists believed that Iran had to leave the American influence and become independent.
The revolution succeeded, but it came at a cost. Animosity, wars, bloodshed and painful sanctions. Now the US and Iran are facing the challenge of putting 35 years of hate behind them.
The relationship between Iran and the US is complicated. As long as the US supports the Israel regime, does not recognize the rights of Palestinians, continues to interfere in the Middle East and against Islamic countries, and continues sanctions against Iran, it is very difficult to say the relationship is a good one.
Last year, a temporary nuclear deal, high-level meetings and a phone call between the US and Iranian presidents broke 35 years of official silence.
Soraya, to what extent does public opinion change, or has it changed, given all those things you described there, the fact that there has been a defrosting of relations between the two sides?
Well, somewhat of a defrosting, but I think there's a long way to go if you listen to what the general mood of Iranians is. Yes, they want better relations with the United States. They're happy with the government and the diplomatic push from the government, but there's still so much anger in the people towards the history of Iran and the United States and what's really happened. And three very good examples I have for you right now, the slogans of today's events. The first one is, we'll stand till the end. And that's obviously a reference to the United States and external pressures on Iran. The second is, we will stand up against and we are ready for all options on the table. Of course, reference to President Obama, John Kerry, and all options on the table, including military ones, what the United States has been saying. And of course, the third one is we are ready for the great battle, another reference to any external pressures on Iran. So these are three main slogans of today's anniversary, the 35th anniversary. Although things may have cooled a little bit in relations, there's still a very long way to go if you gauge the mood here in Iran.
Great stuff. Soraya Lennie live in Tehran, 35th anniversary of the revolution there.